it's Katarina, and I am joined by Brad from Brad's Furniture and Appliances. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you this morning?
I am a good, Brad. Now, usually we speak on Fridays, and I feel like it's such a treat having you here both days.
Well, I guess this is just in celebration to you leaving our fine community.
Yes, you'll be my last interview both days, today and tomorrow.
I'll be a memory.
Yes, you will. Thank you. Now, Vocal for Local, we celebrate local businesses, how they started here in Fort St. John, what inspires business owners to have this business. So let's just start with, just in case someone's new to town, because we all know you, but just in case we're new, what is Brad's Furniture and Appliances?
Well, I'll tell you how that came about. Back in 1990, I was just recovering from a motorcycle accident and took business in school. Mm-hmm. And I got hired on by Sears. And they said, we have a store we want you to manage in Dawson Creek. And I thought, they said Dawson City. I'm going to the Yukon? I had no idea even where Dawson Creek was. So we moved up. We were in Manitoba. And we moved from Brandon, Manitoba to Dawson Creek. And we spent a couple years there. Mm-hmm. And our dream there was to do well in that store there and transfer into the Okanagan. Well, that changed.
Your 5-year plan.
In 1993, Sears fired us all.
Oh, wow. Oh, is that when they started to
and
close?
Made the stores private. So that's when we had a choice to stay in Dawson or come here. And there really was no choice. You know, this was a much better market, growing oil economy. So we came up here and, you know, we never made Dawson home, but we came up here in 93 and this is home.
And when you say 90 here, you mean Fort St. John, right?
We came to Fort St. John in 93 and that's when we opened up. We were first in the mall for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
And so that goes back in
like
time.
The Totem Mall?
The Totem Mall, yes.
Wow.
If you're driving past the Totem Mall, you'll see one door on the east side that's like 4.5 feet wide, and that was to get the Sears freight in.
Interesting.
And then in 95, we moved to the Northgate Mall, and we were there for 7 years. Mm-hmm. So we're actually back where we were before. So we were there for 7 years. We moved across the street for 15, and then we moved back when Sears went belly up, and that's where Brad's Furniture came about back in 2017. So we've been doing our own thing there now for just about 8 years.
Yeah. So like when Sears kind of went down, was it an automatic, you knew what you were going to do? Or did you take some time and you're like, what am I going to do?
Oh, no. We kind of seen the writing on the wall because they were put into bankruptcy protection and we actually lost some money because it was held in trust. And so we started opening up other doors, and it took over a year to get signed on with all the appliances that we wanted to carry.
Oh, wow. Hey.
And then actually the last year we were in Sears, we didn't sell any Sears products. We just sold our own because Sears couldn't get anything. They were on credit hold with everybody. And so we just sold our own product. And of course, Sears was still trying to push extended warranty, and we wouldn't have any part of that. So we started up we found our own warranty company. We sold, even if you happened to get Sears appliances, we wouldn't sell you their warranty. We'd sell you our warranty so that at least we knew it wasn't going down the tube when they shut down in 2017. So we've been plugging along for just about 8 years now. And you know what? It's pretty good. We don't have to answer to someone sitting in a seat in Toronto.
Hey.
You know, if I order something in and it doesn't sell, that's on me.
Yeah.
And we can carry the brands that we want to carry. You know, there's a few that we highly recommend, and there's some that we don't. So we just carry the ones that, you know, we want to sell good value. We just don't want to make a sale. We want to have repeat customers.
Yeah. You're looking to make a connection over just a one and done sale.
And you know what we have over the years? There's lots of people that come in and, you know, will actually look for me in particular. And, you know, the girls, of course, know as much as I do because I'm getting up there now. Sometimes you forget a little bit. But, yeah, you know, the girls are really good. I've had most of them there for a long time. I try and treat them good to keep them to stay because they have to know the product, and you just don't learn that overnight.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun ride.
I have to say it's a pretty fun environment at Brad's Furniture and Appliances. I've been there a couple times with Moose, right? Broadcasting, and the girls The girls will keep it and have it as a good time there. So very fun.
Yeah, you know what? There's one young girl that's there. She's actually going to move to Kamloops, and she's been there since she was 14.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty tough for her to tell me she was leaving.
Yeah.
She says, you've done so much for me. I met my husband working with you because he was one of our delivery guys, and they got
Look at
married.
this.
They have a little baby, and she says, I don't know anything but this. And so, we try and look after our people. And you know what? That, as much as I'm so happy for her to move on, it's going to be a tough loss.
Absolutely. Like you've built a little family at Brad's. I mean, so this means you're going to be hiring soon then, hey?
This means we're going to probably have to find a replacement. Yes, it's going to be hard to replace her too.
Brad, it sounds like Brad's might be a matchmaker. So if you need a husband, perfect place to go apply. Tell me a little bit about the times you're open, and actually, just in case someone doesn't know, where are you located?
Well, we're in the Northgate Mall up by the Hairbin. So the Hairbin's been there, gosh, I don't know how many years the Hairbin's there. There must be 40 years.
Yeah.
So they're a pretty steady customer.
Yeah.
And, being beside them, of course, we used to have the liquor store beside us, and it's been wonderful the last 4 years because there's no traffic there. So we have tons of space in the parking lot. So there's never a problem finding a parking space.
Yeah.
But, we left the Sears building. We sold that. And then we moved back across the street, just a little, control our expenses a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And, it's time to make my life a little easier. Just carry the things we want and the brands we trust. And, I try and get the brands that bring their own freight. Some of the other brands, they ship common carriers, and they just don't look after the stuff as good as they should. So we try and get the stuff that's brought to our store looked after so that it arrives in decent condition.
What times are you open?
Well, Monday to Friday, we're open 9 till 6. Saturdays, we're open 10 till 5. And Sundays, we are closed. Well, closed Sundays and long weekends, too. Also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to ask you something. So, Brad, I know we've spent some time together, right? And I know you've done wonderful things for our community. We've had lots of people, even on the Frontier Law FS Joy segment, rave about some of the things that you've done for them. What keeps you inspired?
Well, let's go back a couple of years and your Hit the Mark contest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a customer phone me one Christmas. She had won a jackpot for $700 and some dollars, and she called to thank me and said that was life-changing for them. She was a single mom with a son, and that made her Christmas. And that really pulled some strings.
Yeah, don't do that.
So there's lots of good things that's happened. Fort St. John's a very giving community.
Yeah.
You mentioned the co-op earlier. They're involved so much in the community. And so some of the things you guys do, it's really appreciated. Very giving community. You go to the fundraising events like the Association for Community Living. There's some really great. There's some great people in this town that give a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. So you're just really inspired by the community all the time, and you're a part of that.
You know what? This is home.
Yeah.
Yep, this is home.
Brad, before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to say about Brad's Furniture and Appliances?
Well, I guess just on a leaving note, Katerina, you're one of the only radio announcers I've ever been in bed with. And let me clarify that.
Those flexible beds. It was for the ground.
Yes, we were sitting in an adjustable bed in the store doing a teletalk on the air. So, those adjustable beds are really cool.
They sure are.
What
They're
a
so
great
comfy.
laugh we've had over that. And you know what? I wish you all the best in your upcoming adventure across Canada.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad, there is a first time for everything, hey?
Yes, there is.
Thank you so much, Brad.
All right. Thanks for having me.